Day 6 of PLZ Soccer at the Euros, and we're here at the Cologne Stadium for match day 2. Yes, this is Wednesday. I'm Peter Martin. Hugh McDonald and Tam McManus are here. We are more than a few hours away from the kickoff, Scotland against Switzerland. And on this match day 2, it's now about stepping up to the plate on this park, this wonderful stadium, Hugh, and producing something, because I think the manager, the captain, and so many of the players have stopped all the bluster and just said, listen, we owe this Tartan army a performance.
And this is the stage to do it on, Peter, for two reasons. One, it has to be done tonight. We spoke about this this morning, and we spoke last night on the show. This is a cup final. It has to be settled this afternoon, but it's also on a brilliant stage. I've been lucky enough to be in this stadium. A brilliant stadium. Terrific atmosphere, fans right on top of the pitch, big game. Now's the time, as the players are saying, now's the time for action, not talking, and they will need to put in a performance tonight. They're up against a very good Switzerland team. Early
indications, Tam, as ever, it could change. There could be a twist in the tail, but two proposed changes. Hanley in for Porteous, which is no great surprise. Billy Gilmore coming in, Ryan Christie dropping to the bench.
Yeah, that seems to be the rumour that's flying about here at the moment, Peter. Also, Scott McTominay, we spoke about in the show yesterday, didn't look quite 100% fit. He's one that could possibly drop out. Listen, I've played in games when you're getting tanked. You look as if you're towing a caravan, and I think a few of the players get knackered, but that's just the way it is. When you're getting the run around, you look a mile off the pace. So maybe it was just the nature of the game and not a long season. Let's hope it wasn't. But I think there will be 2 or 3 changes tonight. A couple that you mentioned, and an interesting one for me is, does James Forrest come in? Does he go attacking this early?
I'm not so sure. I think he'll err on the side of caution with just that couple of changes, Hugh, because yes, he is loyal, but he knows now that we're at the business end of it. There's no more excuses. And in a strange sort of way, Hugh, sometimes when Scotland in previous tournaments have suffered a loss, there's been a real outrage in the media. There's been a real outrage among the Tartan army. But I think, apart from obviously wanting Scotland to step up to the plate, there's been a realisation that Germany were a really good side. We didn't expect to win. Now this is where the focus of attention. I think this is a pivotal moment in Steve Clarke's career as Scotland manager.
I think so too. It's all right, doing a conga on the Marienplatz after getting beat by Germany. You can see, well, Germany will have great hopes of winning this tournament at home. The performance was, Scottish performance, just abysmal. There was no credit side to it at all. But it's all right taking that acceptance. But now we're playing Switzerland. Should we beat Switzerland on paper? Maybe not. But we should have a chance against Switzerland. We should have a competitive chance to win this game tonight.
Well, I think that's a key point that you make there. We do have a competitive chance. I think sometimes a lot of us can be guilty of being lazy, of looking at history, of looking at previous results against the Swiss. But you can't underestimate, Tam. I've been looking at the side consistently, watched them against Hungary. They are a good outfit, they play some good football, and they've got technically players that are playing at a very high standard. And I've mentioned before, Sher at Newcastle, Akanji in the back line for Manchester City. They were a hair's breadth away from making a Champions League final again. They won the treble last year, so they've got players in there that have played high level football. Granit Xhaka, some people thought he was on his way down, joins Bayer Leverkusen, and they have just the most unbelievable season in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, listen, it's a strong Swiss team. They didn't. I don't think they flew through qualification. No. I think they struggled at times. I think they only beat Ireland 1-0, and I think we're better than Ireland. So, listen, I think it's going to be a tight game. I can't see this being a 2 or 3-0 either way. I think it's going to be a very, very tight game. It might come down to moments of brilliance, a mistake, something like that, to go and get the 3 points. But for me, we just need to get something out of the game. Every Scotland fan we've spoke to, I think we take a point. I think they realise. I think Switzerland are a better side than Hungary. And if Germany go and beat Hungary tonight, they've got nothing to play for in that last game. They're in 0 points. So if we can get a point going into that, I think you might get a Hungary team who's going home. And listen, the pressure's off. They might come out and put performance in. But I think if we can get a point and Germany win, we've got every chance in that last game against Hungary to beat them and get through.
I don't think we can afford going a goal behind you.
No, I think that's a really excellent point. I keep thinking about momentum. Tram was quite right. Switzerland went through a rough patch in qualifying, and what happened then was the manager was really under pressure. He got an assistant, and Granit Xhaka was actually criticising the manager. Those words spoke, but then the momentum changed. They got a few good results. They came into the tournament, and the great thing about any tournament, it doesn't matter who you are, Brazil, or England, France, whatever, winning the first game takes so much pressure off in a group stage. Winning the first game puts you right in the box seat. So they won cosy, they won 3-1. It was difficult in the second half. So they've got that momentum. They're coming to the stadium tonight confident. How are Scotland coming? Hopefully defiant, but they can't be confident because we just had to look at the recent results. And, everybody's read the stats. We've only beaten Gibraltar of late. So I think the early stages are really important to get the support behind us as well, because we need that in this stadium. You'll hear the Scots fans tonight, all right, don't worry about that. So I think a good start, a confident start. I love a few passes together, Peter. Tam and I watched the first game, and after 35 minutes we looked at each other and went, that's the first 3-pass phase and it's 35 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other good thing about it, listen, if it was a Tartan Army, we might actually be thinking about winning it, because they've been absolutely superb, I have to be honest with you. You learn something new every day with regards to football, because Tam, we're getting the tram. The tram stops right outside the stadium. Apparently, if you've got a ticket, you can travel for free on the tram. I wish you'd told me that before I shelled out about €21 for you lot. But nevertheless, they'll all come here. There is a fan zone in the centre. There is a huge square where thousands upon thousands are going to be appearing. And then, of course, every now and then there's a platoon that turns up, and I think there's a platoon.
Jesus, it's early for the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So they'll come in their numbers here, but in the centre of the Cologne, they've got accommodation for everybody. They've even got, I think, a separate Tartan Army area as well.
Yeah, I think it seems slightly more organised in Munich, to be honest. I think there seems to be more areas for Scotland fans to go. And honestly, I bumped into about 5 or 6 Swiss fans in the 2 days we've been here. There's thousands of Scotland fans here in the hotel, walking about. There's all sorts of fans here, and honestly, as I said, there's loads of them just walk by, so they might get a few shouts who want to go on the telly. Let's hope we don't let them down, because as I said, there's a lot of fans here. They've shelled out a lot of money, and I just hope we give them something.
Yeah, not the best song they could have thought of. Only have really had one word in 3 verses.
There's others that we probably could have been taken off air for. So we're grateful for small mercies. I always think Scotland's quite a nice anodyne song to go into the game with.
Yeah.
But that's a kind of indication, as Tom's pointing out. I've been to tournaments and games all over the world, and I'm really lucky to do that. I have never, and I mean I have never, seen a presence of fans as I have in Germany. And it's throughout Germany, because, when we were in Munich the other night there, my son, he was up in Dusseldorf, and he was telling me that Dusseldorf, which is no game in Scotland, don't play in Dusseldorf, no games, it was packed with Scots without tickets, because they'd booked their accommodation early, decided to go to Dusseldorf as a good hub for the tournament. And he says, there was thousands of Scots there. You're hearing hundreds of Scots in Bonn. That's everywhere. I mean, there was the French newspapers. I was talking to a French journalist yesterday, and in France, the big story is, where have all the Scotland fans come from? Well, the answer's Scotland, obviously. But how many are there? Because they're talking about hundreds of thousands.
He's getting the Seville calculator out again. He's not used that for a couple of days.
It's very much like a pilgrimage for many of them. They're all together. They're from all sorts of fan clubs. Talking last night in the pub, Tam, we went in there just on a reconnaissance mission, to be honest with you. And you see lots of Scotland fans, St Mirren fans there. Some have tickets. Some are actually saying, I've managed to get tickets for my dad because I want to experience this and say, I've been to an international with my dad, I've been to a major championships with my dad, and they were so excited. I mean, the girl was so emotional. I was talking to her last night, and it's just been fantastic.
Yeah, it has, and there's supporters from every club up and down the country, and Peter's just dropped €50 out his... I
believe I didn't make sure the elastic was attached to it.
Yep, Pufflete's pockets were sewed up on this trip. Anyway, no, as you said, there's supporters from everywhere here. You know, there's women here over their friends and their husbands. There's children here, full families. It's a brilliant atmosphere. That pub we were in last night was tremendous, just packed with Scotland fans. I think we've seen Stephen McGinn. I don't know if his brother Paul McGinn went AWOL at one point, but it was superb, and I want us to give them something. I want them just, even if it was just a moment, a goal, a point, you know, a win, because there's so many people that have travelled here, and we need to give them something.
Stephen McGinn got a ticket.
Oh, if he hasn't got a ticket, I'm chucking it. Listen, the other thing I was going to say to you, and I just thought that's why I was trying to get my phone. You can tell this programme's completely and utterly mental at times. But the reason I was wanting to get my phone is because so many people passed on a message to me that I think is a note of sadness. Is one of the Scotland fans, Colin King, was a massive Scotland supporter, and I think sadly passed away on Sunday night. He was in Düsseldorf. Watching the game, Germany against Scotland, and I think a lot of people are asking for the Scotland fans a minute's applause on the fourth minute of the match, Scotland against Switzerland. So I think for everyone, we pass on our condolences and our prayers and thoughts to the family of Colin, and I think the Tartan Army, quite a lot of them, will remember him, because you want people to come, enjoy a football match and go home, and especially when you lose one on a trip like this. Really, really sad. A tragedy.
Yeah, it's just a Scotland fan coming to watch his team, you know, watch his country, and to pass away. It's a nightmare. It's a tragedy for the family, and I'm absolutely certain that minute's applause, there'll be thousands of Scotland fans joining in on that for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hope maybe a wee tribute would be over the 90 minutes. Scotland celebrating. I would love to see the win. To get the win, let's now look at the team and what they have to do, Hugh. They have to do the complete opposite, in my mind, from what we witnessed against Germany. This kind of a sit in, keep it tight, take anything that the opposition is throwing at us and then hope to get them on a sucker is not the way to do it against Switzerland. Can we go on the front foot?
We have to, simply have to. We have to get some control in the game. We had absolutely no control against the Germans. It was, even when we got the ball back, it was one pass back to the back three of the goalkeeper, punt up the park. There was no control game. We have to get control game. That, I presume, is why Billy Gilmour is in his expense of Christie. This is not official yet, but it's what we're hearing. And Billy Gilmour will certainly add to the ability to keep possession in the middle of the field. I think he's the best player in the team for that role. I think he's a very clever passer, a very clever man at manoeuvring and manipulating the opposition so that space is created for the decent pass. And that's basically, Scotland have got to take this game very incrementally. They've got to come in and establish a base in this. They've got to start well, establish a base, and move on from that. The exact opposite of Germany, when they came in, disintegrated to such an extent that at half time, everybody was saying we would take 6-0, 5-0. It was a rout. So we need to have some control, and that starts with possession.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that front foot, again, the biggest worry I have, Tam, is, as I mentioned to you, I think we have to score first. But I think on that front foot, we have to be more creative, and we have to be able to support that lone striker, because it's as you know yourself, when you're up there on your own and you're getting battered and somebody's stepping in front, taking the ball off you consistently, and then they're finding it easy to get out from the back, it's not good, it's demoralising, and also it just drains you of energy.
Yeah, I think we need to make the pitch smaller. I think that the other night against the Germans we sat so deep, so with every single player in our own half. So there's no outball, there's no, if they've got pace at the back, you can't just shell it in behind, because they're going to outpace you, they're going to have a yard start. So I think we need to be brave enough tonight, and I can hear people saying, they've got pace up front. It doesn't matter, we have to play 10 or 15 yards further up the pitch, and we have to get our midfield closer to the striker, because there was a massive gap, and I've been in that situation before. You're playing as that one striker, and you've got your midfield 20-25 yards away, you've got your defence sitting, and it's a lump up, and you've got to hold the ball for 5-10 seconds before everybody can get up. So condense the game. If we condense the game and make it the pitch smaller, then I think that's going to be a big factor in getting a result.
We can't afford, football comes down a lot of time to one-to-ones, and what you've got to do in football is make your one-to-one, give your one-to-one a chance. If we're lumping the ball long for Adams versus Akanji, we're on to plums. I'm sorry. He's strong, he's physical, he's quick, he's very adept on the ball. This is a Champions League player, a Champions League winner. So what you've got to do to Adams is try and say to Adams, listen, we're going to try and even up the game here. So I think Tam's right. We'll have to compress the game. We've got players in a compressed game are slick little passers. Gilmer's passer. We know Callum McGregor at his best. We know McTominay at his best is a very good passer in space. Then we've got John McGinn physically, technically to help Adams out. I think that has to be the way forward. But I think we'll know quickly tonight. Tam made a good point that the other day there, and I did it down because that's the first good point I think he's made. And he said that first 10-15 minutes, he said that'll tell us.
I think we'll know straight away.
I agree with that.
Has that result and performance left a mark? I think you'll find out straight away. If we come out timid, Peter, and Switzerland start well and on top of us, I think we're not going to get a result.
Yeah, plus it's going to be a charged atmosphere. It's a fabulous stadium, as you can see in the background. I think, am I right in saying, Hugh, that these two pillars here light up?
There's actually 4 pillars. There's a pillar each side of the ground, each side of the ground, each end of the ground, and these all light up. You can do in different colours. Obviously, they're usually red and white.
Hopefully not tonight.
Hopefully not tonight for the Cologne colours. So the UEFA branding seems to be all blue at the moment. So maybe have that tonight, blue and white, which would suit us for the shirts.
Yeah, absolutely. The atmosphere will be absolutely sensational. And don't forget that our reporter Kerry Pollock and myself will bring you, of course, half-time and full-time reports. We'll get the players after it, and let's hope it's not in the wee small hours of the morning again. The other key issue here is the message from the manager has to be on point, and it has to be something that the players completely and utterly understand, because once you heard the rhetoric from the post-match of Germany, there seemed to be some kind of communication breakdown. That can't happen tonight. Simple message, you know your job, get on with it, get on the front foot, high press, let's see if we can take it to them.
Yeah, I don't think Steve Clark and the staff will have to say much. I think the players know they've let themselves down. You know, it's pretty harsh to say they've let the nation down. You know, they haven't. They've got us here, but they know they've let a lot of people down on that first game, Peter. I think the message will be simple, and it won't be long. You know, everyone knows what's at stake. We have to get something out of this game, or we're going home, and that's what it's got. That really boils down to, Peter. And you've got to win your one-to-one battles. We have to have 7-8 guys tonight. When you walk off, you go, he played well, he was good, he played well. We've got to have that type of performance. Whereas the other night we had none. So we need 7 or 8 players at it, and that gives us a chance.
What do you think? Give us your point of view in our comments section, not only on Facebook and Twitter, but of course on our YouTube channel as well. Hopefully you're enjoying the content. We will be speaking to quite a few members of the Tartan Army as we get ever closer to the kick-off as well. The players and the manager have completed all their press conferences ahead of this one. All the talking has stopped. It's all about what they do on the pitch and how they play on that pitch. And of course, the predictions change minute by minute. Sometimes I've got an air of confidence. Sometimes the doom and gloom kicks in again because of the realisation of what we have at our disposal. I mean, remember, Grant Hanley hasn't played a lot of football. The middle of the park is where we're strong. Up front, can we score a goal? I'm going to go more and more. I've been ahead of this match watching Switzerland and Hungary. I've been more and more swaying towards Switzerland to win it. I think because of a different attitude and because of what Steve Clark knows what's at stake. I don't want people to round on him and turn on him. I think we're more than capable of getting a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, Hugh.
I think we're more than capable of getting a draw. I think at our very, very best, at our Spain best, at our Norway best, we are capable of winning the match. But, and it's a big but, I think Switzerland are in a very good place at the moment, and I think they're in a better place. I think we've lost players in very important positions, and I think the odds on are is a Switzerland, another one for Switzerland.
You're still sticking with it? Yeah. I'm going to veer towards 1-1 just on the basis that we can't be any poorer than we were against Germany.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't see us winning the game. You know, I think a point is the best we can. I think it'll either be 1-0, 1 each, or 3-0 to Switzerland. Honestly, I think if Switzerland come out and start well and go ahead, we have to chase it a wee bit. I think we could be in for a long night, but I think we're capable of scoring the first goal, maybe hanging on and getting a 1 each. But I'll go 1 each, and it keeps us in the tournament, Peter.
Well, listen, I'll tell you right now, as a few hours before kick-off, we were slightly erring on the side of caution, but I know it sounds doom and gloom, but on PLZ Soccer throughout the season. We try and give you it as honest as we possibly can. Slowly but surely, there wouldn't be a catch chance in hell of us standing here around about 8 o'clock tonight, because it will be mayhem, rich with colour, and of course the noise of the Tartan Army. In hope, in expectation, can Steve Clark deliver that managerial team talk that just spurs everybody on to go out there, get on the front foot, high press, create something in that box, give us a chance to celebrate, give us a chance to cheer. Only time will tell. We're certainly hoping that that is the case. Not only will you get the action from here and the reaction, Tam, Hugh and the team are going into the centre of Cologne. We'll get more from the middle of the city, and also Kerry Pollock and myself will bring you half-time report, full-time reaction from the manager and the players, and more importantly, over and above that, back home for the people who weren't able to travel here to Germany, Alison McConnell, Cheryl Smith, and of course Blair Malloy and Patrick Millen are all out there at Easter Road, Tom, getting the news for us, because there's a big event there.
Fantastic. Let's hope it's a bit better atmosphere than it has been the last couple of seasons at Easter Road. We've been rubbish, but no, I genuinely hope that that Hibs don't Jonah us.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see Tom can say that now that he's barred from Easter Road anyway. I don't think there's too many people who are fans of him at the moment. Barred. It's just great. It's a great feeling, isn't it? Anyway, we are not, in a negative sense, barred from Scotland. We are hoping that we're all cheering Scotland tonight. Hopefully you're enjoying the crack from this beautiful city of Cologne. And don't forget also, it's day 6, 4 to go. We'll be on our way to Stuttgart as well to sample, hopefully, a game against Hungary, which means something. So from Hugh McDonald, Tam McManus and myself, Peter Martin, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, share and follow, and remember, wherever you are, we are on PLZ Soccer.